Hello out there. If you know who I am and what we do here on this channel, welcome back. I hope you hit that subscribe button. If you don't know who I am and what we do here on this channel, I am the Reverend Godfather, main host and frontman for the internet's most hated mafia-themed geek podcast, Lone Coat Mafia Podcast. Links to that are in the description down below. If you're interested, what we do here is usually like unboxings, con shows, maybe some interviews when we're at cons and so forth and so on. I'm starting to get into a little bit of vlogging here instead of the audio aspect, but I want to kind of share with you, as you kind of figured out by the channel, the title of this video is my journey becoming a player of D&D. It's been a year, honestly. It's been a year since I ramped up and started playing D&D. A year ago, I barely knew anything about D&D. I might have known, files, D20s and dice and so forth and so on. I never thought I'd get this deep into D&D. But like I said, I knew a couple of things. I just surface level. Uh, I tend to use a term, or over tend to use a term. I've probably known more than some. For if I classified myself as someone who doesn't know a lot about D&D, I could say I probably knew more than most, but less than many. If that makes sense to any of you. And for those of you it doesn't make sense, it probably just means I just knew probably the bare bones basic that it required books, dice, maybe character sheets, and so forth and so on. Just a lot of the surface level stuff. When compared to people that might not know diddly squat about it. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons is that, insert satanic panic stuff here and the complete ignorance here. And over the year, I've gotten a lot of the standards. Like, I'd say I got a crap so much dice that I give dice away. I know some of you will be out there like, oh my god, he gives dice away. But I know that you was like, oh yeah, that's standard for D&D players being a dice goblin. Congratulations. But there's a lot more to it. I've got stuff inside still that pertains to everything I have kind of sitting beside me. One of the first few things I picked up because I realized I might get into DMing and started playing. Yeah, the first thing I picked up was the good old standard player's handbook. Come to realize most people don't have player's handbook, and few people or most people tend to use like what I do now is D&D Beyond. But this is a handy resource to have handy. Oh, quick look up about items are right here. Not to mention getting the atypical as stated. Oh, I might get into DMing, so you're going to need the standards, which is the remaining books, some of the filler books, but the two main standards, which is the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Monster Manual. Yeah, I got a few extras inside. I think the Cauldron of Everything, I think it is, something along those lines. And recently, I got the Dragon's Handbook, the one that came out recently. I'll probably be picking up the one that's coming out in May, or has come out already in May, this past May 2022. Also, I picked up last year Wild Beyond the Witchlight, so I do have full-blown official Wizards of the Coast D&D campaign. So yeah, I'm already kind of knee deep into everything. I'm part of a wonderful group. I know it's my table where the camera is on is a little bit wobbly. I'm part of a wonderful group. We have a wonderful time. That it's a lot of times it's just pure laughs, and a lot of times what we do is for the. If you want to say for the memes, yeah, we do it for the memes, and it's just a bunch of laughs. We all have a great time. We all have fun taking turns as DMs. I'm learning a lot running one shots, or a one shot that might take 2 or 3 sessions to flush out. And the group that I'm part of that plays tries to play twice a week. They're friendly. They're very welcoming. It is very fun to be with, and it's great that I hooked up with these merry bunch of weirdos. That I say that with the utmost kindness, because they were so helpful with a noob like me. Like I said, I've not just got the standard books and dice and so forth and so on, and go through roll 20 when needed, and having a D&D Beyond account, and tell you what, I've gotten loads. Like, what else do people need in regards to, I figured, or at least on my end, my hobbyist, my geeky OCD has, taken over, and it's like, what else would I need? Would I need independent stuff? Well, you know what? I got independent stuff. I'm sure a lot of you who've returned to this channel, if you look down below wherever the other stuff might be, or see the recommendations along whatever, you've seen me unbox a lot of these, which is the Dungeon in the Box stuff, which is in and upon itself an independent company when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons. They do a lot of one-shots in their own yearly campaigns. So that's, just having my own stuff, that because I did not want to it's like, well, if you didn't want to go with the mainstream stuff, then why did you pick up like Witchlight? Well, I wanted something mainstream. Besides, Witchlight has a few extra races in it, and other things in here and improvements that I wanted to have handy. But that's beside the point. It's like, but why would you have something independent? Just in case I didn't want to go something mainstream. And not only that, I got standard, not just the standard, we'll pull it out. Hero, the standard minis, this wonderful, I'm going to give them credit. This one here was printed out by one of the members of the D&D group. It was a Christmas gift. It's one of the characters I've been playing right now, and I forgot which one it is, what campaign we're playing right now, but he printed this out for Christmas. He said, get me the STL file for that character. I was like, okay. And I didn't expect, wasn't sure why, but this is what I got for Christmas. And I asked him, was like, why is it in a case? Because it's a little bit fragile, so that way you could use it without actually breaking it by accident. And not only that, I got a couple of stuff from Hero Forge, and I got minis. And some of you out there who've seen me unbox the Dungeon in the Box stuff, seen me get actual minis for the independent campaign. And is this the junk box? Or does it have the? No, this is the junk box. Some of you out there might see me open up these boxes, along with the S and stylized S and M on the box. That's because I've opened up these, which is skinny minis, which is pretty much plastic, thin plastic, thin plastic. I have access to right here. Oh, this is this month's box. Okay, I'm not gonna bring it up. Pretty much they're skinny minis, just flat aspects of minis instead of full size, which is on that side of things. I've kind of gotten two ends of the stick. Some love the fact that I use skinny minis because it's awesome. It's great that once they understand that my place is pretty much the size of a studio apartment, if not less, they understand that having a bunch of skinny minis is better for me than having a whole mess of actual minis. So they get it. They love the artwork on it. They love the whole aspect of it. and the fact that they're mostly, I could get literally a sheet of them for like $10, $10, $15, which is about the same as some minis, if not roughly the same price range. And that's great. Like I said, I've gotten a lot of the standards, some of the independents, and one of the things I've also gotten as an independent, and I've kind of done myself, and it's one of the things I've had a lot of arguments over, and that is doing something like this. And it's using a lot of independent stuff to make my own books. Meaning, I became a Patreon of a creator called DM Dave, and he did a whole mess of monsters and creatures and so forth and so on. So instead of having them on my tablet or my computer or what have you, I decided, just in case I ran something independent and needed, or I did my own type of homebrew, and I wanted something I could have physical copies of. So I made my own monster manual, but with all you can see, it's a nice thick monster manual. There's well over probably 200-300 pages in here, and that's where a lot of the argument has happened, especially with like the skinny minis. They're like, well, you got to use what's provided. We don't like using the standard 3-ring binders. You got to use, theirs because it looks so fancy. Excuse me. But it's like, but that's not the case. It's like I don't want to be like the rest of y'all. To me, a fancy binder that is, let's say it's a binder put out by Wizards of the Coast with D&D on it, meaning it has pretty much the D&D logo on it. That's right here, the standard D&D logo. I don't think that's a flex. If that's for you, fine, but I don't think it's a flex. Or having a binder for, something like this, Skinny Minis, that has their logo on it, I don't think that's flex. Because, yeah, it makes you different. Having the Skinny Minis makes you different. But there's a part of me that thinks it doesn't show imagination, which I think part of what D&D is about is that, I should grab the, at least the handbook for a lot of that. I think D&D is a lot about creativity, imagination, and being a little bit different. And therefore, making my own binders, trying to decorate the binders my own way is a way of showing a little bit of creativity. And I've told people that if I wanted something original, hand-drawn on thicker stock to put in one of these binders, I could get a friend of mine to do it cheap. Maybe the cost of a box of Pop-Tarts if needed, or pizza and beer, or something for their doggo. Something that's like, could you do some artwork for me for my thing? I'll get you something for your doggo. I'll buy, what dog food does your doggo eat? I'll buy a couple of cans. That way it saves you a couple of money. These are my friends, not some somebody along on the internet. But if it was somebody on the internet that said, that was willing to do it for a reasonable price, if I had $20, $30, and like, hey, yeah, we'll do something for your binder for $20, $30. Toss it my way. I'll do something for you. Hey, no problem, and especially if it's I think their artwork is worth $20, $30. But if a friend of mine wants to do it for extra dog food or dog treats for his doggo, or it's like, I haven't had blueberry Pop-Tarts in years. Hey, I'll go out right now and grab you a box of blueberry Pop-Tarts if you do it. And these are friends, but it's me being personal creativity. It's me having something different than nobody else may have in the area. I say that because as many people that watch something like Critical Role, Crip Crab, or what have you on the internet that might have anywhere from 100,000 to several million followers. Not at least the worldwide, it's big. United States in upon itself is big. Having a million followers doesn't mean that everybody's going to be on the East Coast or the West Coast. That million people could be all over the United States. So you have that, meaning if you watch something like here on YouTube, if you watch Cinemassacre, and Angry Video Game Nerd, somebody in Michigan or out in LA might not know who Angry Video Game Nerd is, or the channel Death Battle. Y'all might not know that, and yet they might, because the United States has like 300 million people a part of it, if not a little bit more. Um, so, yet people might know Critical Role because they tend to put out, or the name might be familiar because they put out their own books that are available in like Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, Walmart. I've seen Critical Role stuff at Walmart. So, um, that's the thing. It's like it's your choice. You could run the standard stuff, like Witchlight, or you could run the independent stuff. You just have to look for it. There's a lot of wonderful independent stuff. I just found, like I said, last year I found DM Dave, and I use like one or two. I found one of his books I use as a standard intro to D&D for new players. It's wonderful. It's easy. It gets them used to rolling the dice, and playing the campaign, and it's wonderful. And speaking of which, I got some of the other independent stuff that I use. These nice, I won't say nice, but these nicely made, plastic or vinyl binders, because they handle better than the paper ones. So, and then plus I could just easily, I need a level adjustment guide, or I need something to hold lore, or I'm running a quick one shot. These are better than having a binder. And if anything, I could just put these in their own little special holder or binder, magazine holder that you get at Walmart or Office Max or someplace like that. Magazine holders are what almost a dime a dozen. They're like $2 or $3 a piece. So, and these type of binders, I got a local dollar bin type store, dollar store downtown where I'm at, for like 10 for $1. So these were like next to nothing. For $2 I got 20 of these. And not to mention, for a lot of the new players, I give out dice for new players because I got a whole mess of extras. Not to mention I got a whole mess of both pre-dawn and the standard empty character sheets for those who are like, hey, can I sit in? Like, all right, here's a pre-made character sheet for you if you want it. Choose a character. If you don't like the gender or the name, just cross it out. Add whatever you want to put into it. That way, you're happy, I'm happy, we're all happy. And if you want to play, here's some dice too. That way, you're welcome to the game. You're friendly, because I want new players to. If I'm at some place like Engage or your hobby place, everybody's welcome. They're welcome. If you're part of my table, you want to play at my table, you're welcome to play at my table. And that way you have, something to work with, learn by, go by. Like I said, it's been a very interesting journey. Yeah, there's been a few people that seem to come off as gatekeeping. It's mostly the ones that like, oh, you have to have, if you're going to use a binder, go out to like Books a Million, grab the official D&D players binder, and go get the standard official. You're playing Curse of Strahd, or go out and get the Curse of Strahd dice. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. There's plenty of dice out there that's balanced and everything else. I'll be getting another book independent book come later this year. Maybe I want to say by August I'll have another book in my hand from an independent creator. I should say more than one book. I'll probably have another book from Wizards of the Coast, and I'll probably have another uh, book or two. I'll have definitely more stuff from the Dungeon in the Box, but I'm talking about a completely book like this that was, in essence, funded by Kickstarter. Uh, that I put in for. Not to mention later this year, if they get done with that, I'll be getting my own set of uh, dice in from another company that's doing very unique dice with its own special holders and that whole fun jazz. Not to mention, I'm getting a whole mess of more skinny minis in from the company that puts out the skinny minis. Probably later this year. So by the time November, if not December, rolls around, I'll have a whole mess of new stuff to open up for all of you. So I just want to rant about, my progress and how much I've been enjoying doing D&D for all of you. Not for all of you, but doing D&D and being welcome into the hobby. And for those of you out there that have played with me in regards to D&D, thank you for making me feel welcome. This is something I didn't think I'd last a year. Here it is, 1 year later. I didn't think I'd be a DM. Again, 1 year later, I've DM'd a few one-shots myself. And there's been a few people, independent creators. If you want to call, folks like Dungeon in the Box independent creator, Skinny Minis independent creator. But I'm talking about on the small scale, like Jay. We've had her on, I think about this time last year, or if not the year before, in regards to her little card set. In regards to better, the whole aspect is better backstories. So supporting people like that and being so welcome, and telling people, hey, come on, we're going to be doing this, come on down. So hopefully come this spring we'll be starting up D&D again at Engage. We kind of took the winter off because of how the winter it is around the Northeast. So I know this has been a long rant. 20 plus minutes is about normal for me. So if you like this rant and you made it this far, hit that like button. If you want to join the conversation, as always, put a comment or two down below. Keep it civil, please. Thank you for watching. If you want, again, check out the audio podcast. Even though we've been on a break for the past couple of months, I'm trying to get the gang back together to record new episodes. And one of the things I've been told by my partner in crime is try to do more vlogs. That's what the one grinds my gears was. And that's what this is. Me just trying to do more vlogs on this channel instead of more unboxings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the rest of my Dr. Thunder and clean this mess up and probably go grab some dinner up at the somewhere. So take care. See you next video, whenever that might be. I'm the Reverend Godfather, and I am out.